Okay, I said okay again. I'm so sorry. Okay, in this section, we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to have a little look at some pronunciation, just a little bit look. We're going to have a little look at some naughty language, and then we're also going to talk about adventure. I'm going to ask Sonia about one of her adventures, and I think she's going to ask me about one of mine. Okay, so hi Sonia once again.
Hi Mark.
Thank you for helping me. So, when you started learning English when you were about 20, did you find the stress in English very different to Swiss German?
Yes, I think the stress is very different, and I think that can sometimes cause problems. Intonation is the word I think I'm looking for. Can change things, depending on how you say something. If you use the wrong intonation, you can sound different from how you mean to sound, perhaps.
So we're going to be talking about adventure and going places and so on. So, for example, you went to the Grand Canyon a few years ago, and how would you describe the Grand Canyon?
I think the only real word that suits it is the American word they use, awesome.
Awesome.
It's absolutely stunning. It's
Okay, so
breathtaking.
what
That's
I
another
would
good word.
say here is this, in fact, what I want to emphasize here is this word absolutely. So if you said it was absolutely awesome, it doesn't sound
You
like
can't
it.
really say it. You wouldn't use the word if you didn't really mean it. So you would really stress it as in absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so it was absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic, absolutely incredible,
Yeah.
or absolutely breathtaking.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You definitely stress it very strongly.
Yeah, so I would really, so the pronunciation actually here is really all about the word absolutely, which we do use a lot.
We do. Yes. Yes. I'd say that.
And it could also be used for a negative thing, like the movie was absolutely awful.
Yes.
But we would still emphasize that absolutely, wouldn't we?
Yes, because you could just say, "Oh, it was awful," and that's just a bit lame. When if you really mean it, you would say it was absolutely awful. So yeah.
Okay, so I'll be spending more time on pronunciation in the other courses, but to be honest, it's been very challenging to get course 1 ready and doing all the mini lessons and everything else. So that's just a little look at absolutely. So, and really I would recommend that you copy not just me, but when you hear people speak in movies, and really kind of, almost be like an actor or an actress, isn't it? Really put...
Really mean it, as in
really mean it. Don't just say really mean it, really mean it. Okay, that's absolutely great. Now, the other thing I've promised in all the lessons is a little bit of naughty words or bad language or taboo words. Now, you're not so happy to do this, are you?
Well, I'm not somebody that uses naughty words, as you call them, very often. I think I use them more for fun. The F word, which we say the F word, sometimes you use it just to stress something. And in English, it's very much, people either use it all the time and it means almost nothing, it's just part of the language.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Or, some people just use it occasionally. It's a very personal thing. I don't particularly like using bad language.
And I guess in general, women use bad language less than men, I don't know, or older people use it less than younger people.
I think it is a generational thing as well, that younger people use it much more freely, and it doesn't mean the same.
Yeah.
It's not as strong as when perhaps a slightly older person uses it. It's a bit more...
Yeah, you might hear in a pub, for example, some young guy saying, Oh, I went down a fucking beach yesterday and I
Yeah.
fucking saw this gorgeous girl. I was fucking hot, and it just
It means nothing.
it means nothing because
It's
it's used
just a word
too
they
much.
add, and it becomes part of their language without them even meaning it or realizing it. So yes.
But the F word is a very, very useful word. It has all kinds of meanings in English. The one we're going to concentrate on is, again, emphasis.
Yeah.
So, and there's another much less strong word, bloody. So if you went on holiday or you see some spectacular sight, you could say, "Oh, it was bloody amazing,"
Yeah.
or "It was bloody hot." So again, it's just to emphasise, isn't it? But
Yes.
we would you? I mean, do you use the word bloody very much?
No, I don't think I use that very much either. I'd say, it was really, really hot. I think it is. It's just either a habit that you have or you don't. And I wouldn't necessarily use bloody.
No.
But I mean, I would, but again, more for fun.
Yeah. But of course, if you hear it, you know what it means.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and that's the important thing about bad language, I think, not
Yeah.
to be able to say it or to mean it, which is, I remember always my host family, and when I was at school in Bournemouth 30 years ago, they said the important thing is that you recognise the language, but don't use it, because it sounds awful when foreign students use it as well.
Yeah, and sometimes you use it kind of in the wrong time, or it just doesn't
Yes.
sound right. That is true. But of course, you will hear it a lot in movies, and British people use. Well, we say bad language, but it's.
I think, in my opinion, it's really important to be appropriate, and if it's just you and me and we have a chat and we have a laugh and we use the F word or we say bloody this, bloody that, then it's fun and it's just us. But an older person could be
offended.
by it,
Yeah.
exactly. And
So
you wouldn't want to do that.
No, so
hopefully.
I would use bloody with my mother.
Bloody lovely, you say quite a
yes,
lot. Bloody
bloody-
marvellous.
oh,
So
bloody
you use it
marvellous.
in that sort of
Yeah.
sense to emphasise again, like absolutely.
But I would never say fucking marvellous or
No.
fucking lovely with my mother.
No.
But of course that's because she's quite old. A younger mother. I mean, would your daughter use the F word?
Again, I'm sure she probably uses the F word more with her friends than she would with me.
But would you, if she used it with you, would you think, oh,
No, I just think it was funny because she's not somebody I brought her up to not swear really, except for fun or for...
yeah.
Or if you're really, really annoyed or, something is happening, it's just, oh, fuck, that really hurt. That's a sort of a natural way of using the word, I think.
Yeah, so actually, well, I didn't want to
Something
go...
goes wrong.
Yeah, I didn't want to go into other meanings so much, but we might as well. So if you hurt yourself, we would just naturally say, fuck,
Yes.
or shit, or...
Yes, and I would do that, again, if there are people around me, or if there were small children around me, I wouldn't. It's about being appropriate. I think that's the most important thing in my...
Yeah. And as we were talking about spectacular scenery and so on, I mean, if you arrive at the Grand Canyon for the first time, one expression we might say is, fuck me. Which means...
I didn't say that when I arrived at the Grand Canyon. I just stood there with my mouth open and my jaw on the floor.
it could obviously mean something else, but in that case it means wow, or
Yes, exactly.
oh my god.
Yeah.
So we say. I mean, people who are learning English, when I used to teach English at a language school, and I would say, oh, let's look at some naughty words, and they found it so amusing that a teacher would be saying these things. So I'm not trying to be amusing, I'm just trying to cover all of English.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we would, in fact it's a little bit like absolutely, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic, or fucking fantastic.
You see, it's
You will
almost-
not say it,
we're
will you?
Slightly... Oh, fuck, I'll say it. No, I prefer not to. No, because we try to be an example, and if we...
Well, no, that's not true, because it depends on your age. If you want to speak naturally, and depending on your age and the situation, then it is.
Yes, but it can also sound a bit you know, off if an older person uses a word that is more used by young people,
Yeah.
and you're trying to fit in and you're trying to be cool, and
Yeah.
you know, in the end, it actually doesn't do you any favors. I
No.
don't think.
But what I'm
So,
saying is, if a young person is watching this and they want to get on with their British friends or American friends, they would it would be strange if they never used bad language, I think.
again, you know, if they're talking with their friends and their friends use it a lot, they probably would copy it a little bit. But I still think it would sound a little bit strange if it was used too much. Perhaps occasionally for fun, yes, but.
Okay, so anyway, I hope you found two old people saying
Speak for yourself.
saying the F word a little amusing, but of course we do, but some more than others.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll just have a pause here because the next section could be longer than 30 minutes and my camera would switch off. So that's the end of this little section, just a little taste of pronunciation and what I'm calling naughty words or
Bad language,
bad
I
language.
think it's often.
So yes, I will do a lot more on pronunciation, especially in other courses. So if you are really looking forward to half an hour on pronunciation, don't worry, I will be doing that in future courses. Okay, bye for now. Thank you, Sonia.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.